Hello, everyone. I'm David Robinson. I'm the Democratic candidate for Congressional District 2 out of South Carolina. I'm here today to continue my efforts to reach all my constituents, all the constituents in my district, as well as talk about the things that people would like to see in their congressman. So I'll take this very serious. I don't take it lightly. It's something that means a lot to me. It means a lot to my family. It means a lot to my community as well as our state. We have been doing the same thing over and over for 20 some years. It's time to make a different direction, go a different direction, and make some adjustments. So again, I'm running for Congressional District 2 out of South Carolina. I'm starting this for our reasons to make sure that everybody have opportunity to engage with me, ask questions, hear what I have to say, learn a little bit more about my run for Congress. I will be doing this every week. I'm doing a little earlier tonight. I had a long day, a lot of things going on. I had to kind of squeeze schedule together, so I'm doing a little earlier. Trying not to put a whole lot of time, in the evening, but I'm trying to make sure I get everybody's question. If you have questions, of course, you can just like in the descriptions, you can add it to the comment section here, and I will read them and answer some of your questions as well as some of your comments. So I can add those into the screen. But I want to talk a little bit about defending our democracy as one of the pillars of where I'm trying to, and the reason why I'm running as well. I'm a veteran. I served the U.S. Army at a time of war. I'm a veteran of enduring freedom. That was in Afghanistan. I am retired medically. Just sustained injuries while I was deployed. But yes, when I raised my right hand, it is something that didn't stop just because I retired out the military. So I take that, like I said again, seriously. We have our democracy, even our Constitution, is being attacked, and I want to make sure that I'm doing my part to defend it. We raise the right hand to defend the Constitution, our way of life, and I really mean that. So again, one thing is defending our democracy, and in defending democracy, we also have seen attacks on women's reproductive rights. That is something that is part of freedoms in this country. We have to make sure we maintain our freedoms at all time. It is the pillar of a democracy, the freedom to control your own bodies, and that's something that we definitely make sure that don't need to be taken care of with those Dobbs decision, as well as removing Roe v. Wade. So want to make sure we are defending our women, their rights to reproductive rights, to what they would like to do. So again, also providing quality education is another stepping stone, place that we need to make sure that we are focusing on, is our children, because our children are our future, and we want to make sure they're ready from K through 12, receiving the quality education that they deserve, to be, so they can be competitive in the market that is coming. We know everything's running with AI technologies, as well as the renewable energies. We want to make sure we're keeping up with the world. The world is growing. We're growing as a country, and we want to make sure that our students, our children, are ready for those changes. That includes the teachers. We talked about teachers' pay for many years. Teachers had to go on strike to try to get some of the things that they need to be productive in their classroom for our students, to teach them very well. Teachers deserve that, and we want to make sure that we're providing that quality education by make sure teachers are taken care of as well. Make sure the classes are not overcrowded and things like that. So a learning experience for our children, and also the ability to teach our children in the classrooms are there for the teachers. Also, I want to make sure that we're providing education for everyone in every zip code. Because I'm here in South Carolina, I remember growing up and just looking at some of the areas or some of the communities in the same district. Like for instance, District Two, you may see one side of town in District Two doing very well themselves. The schools are been heavily funded, where the other side of town in the same district, the schools are being underfunded. So want to make sure we're not having that. Make sure that federal dollars are going in the right place. We're putting the right people in the right place to make sure that those funds and those things are going into the right place and getting to the students that deserve to have equality in these school systems. So it's not. So I'll make sure I'm representing every zip code, no matter where you live, whatever school you go to. We all are receiving those things because we know, the first thing is if you're actually taking care of every community, that makes the whole district stronger. That makes the whole state stronger. So we want to make sure we're providing those essential things for our constituents. Also, when it comes to our healthcare, we definitely want to make sure that we continue on what President Biden has provided, and that was to lower our prescription costs as well as the healthcare costs for many Americans. Make sure that we're providing the basic rights to have quality health care, and to make sure that we are make sure we're utilizing every tool we can to make healthcare affordable, as well as our prescription costs come down, continue to come down for everyone, especially our senior citizens who worked all their life. We want to make sure that their Medicaid and Medicare care is protected, the Social Security is protected. People work all their life, and there's assurance that they have when the time comes when they can no longer work. They have to live the rest of their life, and want to make sure that we are taking care of them and everything they deserve and what they work hard for. Also, we make sure that we are make sure that we are also safeguarding our infrastructure, and that means make sure that our children are, like I say again, ready for the demand and the change in the market, because like I say, we're going into different areas of the infrastructure is actually growing to different areas of renewable energy, like I said before, and also those things that dealing with AI and technologies and robots and you name it, and want to make sure everybody's competitive. But that's also including our infrastructures in our home, our roads, make sure they are taken care of. I remember riding down the road and started hitting potholes. I even had a cracked rim when I had to go to the highway department to get repaired. We want to make sure that we are taking care of our infrastructure. So these are some of the basic things that I will be talking about, but I'll be talking about a whole lot more when it comes to terms of democracy. Like I said, and also in terms of our freedoms and everything else that come along with being American. Make sure that we're taking care of things that should be taken care of. So I want to make sure that I'm engaging with you all by going into the comment section. I see Kelly Patak. Thank you so much. Thank you for your service and your willingness to serve District 2 in South Carolina. Yes, yes. It's something I have to do. I want to back up a little bit. I didn't explain at the beginning for those who just don't know. My congressional run actually started when I've been out in Arizona searching for my son for over 3 years now, and had to put a lot of time in, a lot of efforts, and I continue to do so. But in that time and efforts, I was able to grow a passion to help other Americans who've gone missing. I have learned, if you haven't have anyone that missing in your family, many of us don't know of the impact that that the missing American crisis is having on this country. We have over 600,000 Americans that go missing every year in this country. That's over 3,000 a day. About roughly 2,000 of those are children. And we want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to find out solutions and things that's happening to our Americans that's slipping through the cracks. We talk about the opioid crisis and other crises, and this is something that's been going on for decades. So, I have solutions for that. I have solutions for that. I've been working hard for my son. I have been working with senators in Arizona. I have been working with law enforcement, and I learned a great deal when it comes to things that can be changed, policies that can be changed, and legislations that can be introduced to help law enforcement, help families get the data and things that they need in real time. It's 2020, it's 2024, and there's a lot of things that aren't being used that can be used. We should be ashamed of ourselves when we are not utilizing the technologies and things that we could. Like for instance, I was talking to a friend of mine who made me aware of a Clear Act that they have in Texas. I think Texas and probably one or two other states are utilizing that. What the Clear Act is a simple, is like a Amber Alert for like the Amber Alert for children and Silver Alert for adults. The Clear Alert would be mainly for someone like my age or my son age when he went missing, because it's crucial to for law enforcement to be able to act fast. Those infrastructures are up there already. When they put the Amber Alerts up and they put the Silver Alerts, I mean the Silver Alerts are up on the highway, for instance. Those things that don't cost the cities any money to add that Clear Alert. So what's one thing I'm pushing for as well, to have that a nationwide alert for adults, because we already know that people definitely knows when their loved one is missing, and those things need to happen fast. So again, Dave Robinson is here. It's going to be really short. We'll be coming on here every Friday. I put it for 8:30. I'm aiming for 8:30 every Friday. I came in early. For those who looking now, I came on early because I had a long schedule. I had to kind of readjust the time, but it'll be 8:30 next weekend, next Friday, for you to come on and hear some of the things I will be talking about when it comes to my run for Congress. And also, I want to hear from you as a constituent what you want to see in your representative. I'd like to see that in the comment section. I can put them up here on the screen, answer some of your questions as well. I really appreciate it. Has there been in support from our state and federal legislators? I see that, Miss Kelly Patat. Thanks so much. And I want to apologize for those who may be on Twitter. I can see Instagram. I can see you there on the screen. However, I won't be able to put you on this platform. Instagram have not came around to getting that done yet, so we're able to do that. But I can't see you on a separate screen. So Kelly Patak, thank you so much. If in terms of, I'm not sure if you're speaking of my congressional run or you're speaking of my son going missing, as in has there been any support from our state and federal legislators? So I will let you add to that a little bit and let me know which direction you're going, and I can answer that question for you. Also, I have in the comment section, I do have little Miss Sunshine. Thanks so much for the thumbs up. And thank you so much for sharing on Twitter. Thank you for joining in with me. I will anticipate having more people. I'm going to try to make sure of you too as well. If you're here right now, hit that like, share, subscribe button, make it that thumbs up like little Miss Sunshine have done. That'll help with the algorithms to get this channel out farther, so I can make sure I'm reaching the constituents that I'm trying to reach. Looking out for those in my state here as well. Those who are in Aiken, Barnwell, Ellerton, some of those areas in that down that area. Also, those in Lexington County, where it's in Irmo, Chapin, Bellatime, Swansea, North, and some Gaston, some of those areas, and also Richland County. Decide that James Clyburn is not representing. I'm representing the rest of that, and also all the counties down in Orangeburg County that's on the west side of Orangeburg. Definitely need you to join in on that. If you know anybody that lives in these areas, encourage them to join me on Fridays at 8:30. I would like to talk to them. I will be getting out into the communities. I just came back from Aiken, did a lot in Aiken. I will be going back down to Aiken. For those who are listening, doing a lot this summer. My aim is to get out into Lexington tomorrow. So if you're out in Lexington, I will be out in Lexington at 10 tomorrow morning. Getting flyers out there for you all to know who's running, give you an option, and as well as I'll have a lot of movement here in the course of Richland County and some of the other areas, Bellatine, Chafin, White Rock, and just want to make sure that we're doing it. Anybody want to join the campaign, you can join that by going to davidrobinsonforcongress.com and join the campaign. I will put that information on the bottom of the screen. Join the campaign by visiting davidrobinsonforcongress.com. And I would love to have you there. We need all the help we can. This is election year. It's a presidential election year. But what I want to say about our district here in South Carolina, it's a misconception going on. We've been having that for a while. I'm sure it's been put out there in our ear. Something that's not factual. that this congressional district two is not winnable against Joe Wilson. It is winnable. We have the numbers. We have the votes. We just don't have enough people wanting to come out to vote. We have a lot of people registered, but don't actually make it to the polls. And I want to make sure that everybody aware that when you go out to the polls, if you have to work, I know a lot of times people have to work and say, "Hey, I miss." I talk to family members, "Hey, I miss voting because I had to work." But there's different ways you can vote. You can mail in vote. You can early vote. Early vote is like a full week, and as well as election day vote. So we want to make sure that we're encouraging you, encouraging your family. We need to make sure we're changing that narrative that our vote don't count, or things like that we hear in our communities. Those things are falsehoods, and we do have the numbers. There's no reason why congressional district two should not be a competitive race. And so the only thing we need is to make sure that we get people out there. So that's what we're pushing for, and that's what we're working on. And I do see your comment back. I really appreciate that, Kelly. Patak, you said regarding my son. Yes, I have been pushing very hard for the state and federal. I've been trying to push with the FBI to the Justice Department to the Attorney General's office. But those are all was in Arizona at the time, but not here in South Carolina. My son went missing out there. Though we are from here, we're born and raised here. He went to school, College Charleston, graduated from there. But the cases out there in Arizona, and I got a little, not much leeway from that, of course, and that's what drove me to continue to fight. I'm a person that just don't give up. I don't give up. And first of all, he's my son. I'm a father, and that's something that is impossible for me to give up on my child. He's a grown man, but he's my child, and so I'm going to continue to fight for my son. I don't give up on anything. And just like this congressional run, I'm not giving up on winning this election. And I'm not giving up because I know I need to be out there to fight for all the missing Americans that's out there, over 600,000. I need to fight for the constituents in my state who's been unrepresented by their congressional person that should be representing every community in his district. Not just a few, or not the ones that can go to the golf clubs, to the country clubs, but the ones that also in the marginalized communities, as well as the working and middle class, because we already know where the backbone of the economy is in the middle and working class. So I want to make sure we're investing in those areas as well. So I've seen a lot of things that happening in our state. For instance, we have an issue with the hate crime law. We have a representative in our district do not match with what the constituents say. We can't be self-serving. We have to make sure that we're getting a hate crime law in the state. And you voting against the hate crime bill, and at the same time saying, "Hey, look, I voted for funding for HBCUs." It's an oxymoron in the sense you go do two different things, hurting the community. You're voting against the Affordable Care Act. That's something that is crucial for many of us who depend on the Affordable Care Act. So, want to make sure that we have representation, not just for the self-serving or just for a few, but for the whole community, in large. Saying the whole community at large. So that's what I'm planning. That's what I'm here for. I've lived in the District 2 most of my life. And outside of District 2, living in District 2, I lived in District 6. I grew up in District 6 as an adult. I lived in District 2, and I continue to live in District 2. For those who in South Carolina know what I'm talking about. And so I was living in the district where representation wasn't for my community, wasn't for me. I have not even known the representation in our community until I ran for office, and then I found out who that person was. Did not come to our communities, do not speak to us, do not speak to the entire community, do not represent the entire community, don't the district. And I want to make sure when I win in November that I'm actually representing every community in our district, not just some. So that's my thing, and that's the reason why I'm bringing this up here. That's why I'm created this podcast to be able to do that. Thank you so much, Kelly. I see your comments up there. The early voting and lesson is great way, very convenient. Yes, yes, yes. We had early voting, and also want to make sure that and you say you're in lessening, Kelly. I want to make sure that I'm reading you correct. I believe you said you were in Lexington County, and what I want to tell people, we kind of have to look at the reality, the big picture. We have some things that we don't see going right in our state, for instance, right? We say, hey, look, this is not right, and we'll blame everybody, but where the blame should go. Many may not know, and many may know. For instance, the Republicans have a supermajority in the state house here in South Carolina. So no matter what a Democrat would want in the state so far, we probably wouldn't get it because they have a supermajority. So anytime things are not going the way you want it, you say, hey, this is not right. Why is not this happening? Is because of that supermajority. So that's why it's important that we have checks and balances and things like that, because things just don't go right. You're not being represented. Is definitely going to be things that being laws that's going to be created that's contradictory to what you believe. For instance, I hear a lot of talk about the open carry law that's passed here in South Carolina. Without, it's one thing to have an open carry law passed, but it's another thing, but not protecting our youth, 18-year-old kids walking around with a gun on their hip, already been irresponsible as it is, to make sure that they are being taught correctly and things like that. So, make sure that some things are in place. So you look at the whole big picture of what's going on and what people would vote for and what they vote against. It is always against the interest. It's always against the interest of self-interest. And so uh, that's one of the things that we're going to have to talk about here as well. So, everybody have any comments and want to talk a little bit more? And I see you say yes, you're in Lexington County. I hope I get to we come to one of the places I will be in Lexington. We'll be out there in Lexington tomorrow, 10 o'clock in the morning. Like I said, hitting the communities up, getting those flyers out there. Want to let everyone know they have another option. And the flyers look like these. I'm gonna hold one of them up here. The flyers look like these. If anybody's seen some of these out there, I have them out there in different locations. Like I said, again, I'm covering Richland County. The sides where the most of the northeast side of Richland County, and also a little Blythewood, and then it goes out into, like I said, the Lexington County, Irmo areas, the Irmo, Valentine, Chapin, Lexington County, Casey, also West Columbia, and then it goes down, of course, down into those areas of Aiken, Barnwell, and so on, North Charleston. So I mean North Augusta, and the west side of Orangeburg County. So definitely need to get these out. I need volunteers, people that also help to get these flyers out, help to spread the word. I'll be doing a lot on social media as much as I can to make sure we're getting the word out, because it's getting close. We're getting, the days are getting close. We want to make sure that we're actually making a difference in this district, and that's what my goal is: to defend our democracy, defend women's reproductive rights, and everything that is included when it comes to defending our democracy. I'm a veteran, like I said, I'm a wartime veteran that decided to join the military at the height of 9/11. It wasn't when our country was attacked. It wasn't on peacetime. I had a good trucking business going on. I gave that up because I knew the Army needed my skills. And so being able to join the military and do my duty, serve the country honorably. And again, like I said, it just goes on and on. It's not something that is ended. You raise your right hand, it's something for life. I only could speak for myself, but I would imagine that any soldier or any a person in the military would say the same thing I say. At least I hope so, because I think it's something that we actually do for life. It's not something that we say, hey, we defend our country and that's it once, and then we go and fight against our country. No, I don't see those two things going on at the same time. Good evening, Mr. Robinson, and Chet. Harry County has your vote. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. 100% pray for Daniel and your family every day. Thank you so much. Yeah, we definitely need those prayers. Like I said, too many people on the other side that follow my efforts to find my son. If Daniel was here with me, he'd be fighting for what's right too. So that's one thing. That's a theme. We got to stand up for what's right, and make sure that we are defending our basic right, to make sure we're the fundamental things that we enjoy and understand about our governance here in this country, those things have not been taken away from us. We're not going into authoritarianism or things like that. We're going to make sure that we are going to keep and preserve the freedoms that we deserve and need. So, and especially for our children. But thank you, Stevie, for putting that out there. Yes, I really need all your support and all your help. So again, I hope this translates into everyone wanting to join the campaign. I need volunteers. We need funding to be competitive. You know, if I'm going up against a 20 year constituent, they're digged in. He had built a dynasty for himself. A person build a dynasty, have name recognition. And sometimes we don't think, we just go ahead and push that button. You know what I'm saying? I tell those who may want to do a separate option, say, hey, you know what? I may vote for this person or for this, and I vote for this person for that. Split the vote in the sense on that. When I say that, I'm saying if, because I talk to a lot of people who are say they're conservative, but they know that, hey, look, this is a time where it's not good for me to vote for this person. We need something different, but I still want to vote for this person for that. I understand that. So what I'm saying is, I feel in Congressional District 2 is that we definitely need a different option, a different change. I've been living here, like I said, all my life, most of my life in District 6 and 2. I was kind of split as a child, District 6, and as an adult, District 2. And, I know the things that are not being taken care of by 20 years of the same old thing over and over again, expecting different results. It's not going to happen. And so I want to make sure that those things that the constituents want and need, I want to make sure I'm listening. The first thing is start off with listening and hear what people have to say, and then make sure it's not self-interest. It's not something that's building, or you're voting, doing a whole lot of voting during election season when you feel like your seat is threatening, and then you start doing these things that should have been done for that entire 2 years that you have each time. So again, Dave Rouse, I don't want to overtalk. I'm trying to wait to see if anybody have any more comments here, and I want to put that up there. Stevie, Mr. Robinson, Horry County has your vote. We pray for Daniel and your family. Thanks so much again, and your dedication to Daniel shows us that you are a very honest and caring person. I really appreciate it. And like I said, I wouldn't expect less from anybody who have a child. I couldn't imagine anyone wouldn't fight for their child. I didn't grow up with a father, unfortunately, but what thing I told my children is that they're always going to have their father in their life, and I make sure that happens. And because I know exactly the need that children need when it comes to father, need both parents. And so again, I thank you so much for saying that. I really feel that that's many. I seen it. I seen it out there when I was in Arizona, in that Sonoran Desert out there. I seen the action, the compassion, the love. I mean, you name it is out there. I just couldn't. I remember I have never organized anything in my life, and I went out there. I drove up to over 2,000 miles to get to Phoenix, Arizona, to start that journey to search for my son. And I put this grassroots search together that lasted 49 weeks, covered 35,000 acres of land out there in that Sonoran Desert, searching for my son. We found other human remains, bring closures for other families, solved the case for the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office out there of a stolen vehicle. So, it was a lot of work, but came from Americans that just came out to look for another scientist, American scientist. I like to call my son America's son, because he's an American scientist. What happened to my son, my family, happens to thousands of Americans every day in this country. Like I say again, for those who may miss it, 30,000 Americans go missing every day. Almost 2,000 of those are children, and 600,000 a year go missing. We don't know that. I didn't know it until it unexpectedly happened to our family. I started learning those details and those understand what the crisis was happening in this country. So, but I'm saying the people that came out, a lot of love out there. I've seen so much love. Nobody care about your race, your political ideologies, your religion, you name it. Nobody cared about that. Was out there for sun up to sundown, searching for Daniel out in that desert. Much love out there. That's when Americans get together and do some common sense things and work together. I've seen it. That really put a big pride in my heart for everybody out there. They know I call them my extended family. Those who out there, they know what I'm talking about. If you're listening, We talk about off and on the screen. And I really appreciate each and every last one. They have to be family. If you come out there and spend your time, money, energy to help a stranger. And so again, that's what America is about. Strangers looking out for each other, neighbors looking out for neighbors. Regardless, we're Americans, and that's what we stand for. Even when we in the midst of all the division and things that we hear, and rhetoric and things like that, we're at the end of the day, we're not going anywhere. Nobody's going anywhere. We're family. We are Americans, and so it takes, like I say, I remember the feeling we had when 9/11 happened, and the pride that everybody came together, no matter where you're from, and everybody wanted to help. And again, that's the reason why I joined the military. Everybody wanted to do something, to help our country, defend our country, protect our country, and that's what I continue to do. So again, it's nothing about division. We should keep going on. We should turn the page. It's time to turn the page. Time to move on. Trying to get back to some sense of the idea of what it is to be an American. So I really believe that. I've seen it. Like I said, I believe it can happen. We get past this point. I believe November 5th is going to be that key moment to get us past certain places. We can get rid of some of the fear tactics, the hate tactics, the anger tactics, and things like that, and try to move on to a more positive feel for our country, to bring people more closer together, to do some things, some common things. We don't have policies. Every policy that we create, regardless of your Republicans, Democrat, not everybody agree on policy, but we did agree one thing. I remember some politicians back when I was younger. I didn't worry about the country because their policies wasn't the policies that I agreed with. I didn't worry about the country. I didn't, as if we've been destroyed or our democracies being threatened or things like that. We didn't have to worry about things like that. But we want to make sure we get back to those points where we can have dialogue and be able to talk to each other, reach across the aisle and have conversations and things, and really try to. And like I said before, first key is to listen and hear what people have to say, and that's how you learn things. And that's why I'm here again, to be able to hear what the constituents have to say. Be coming here on every Friday at 8:30, and I would like to hear what you have to say, and and we can go from there. You cannot say you serving people in your district and you don't even know what they want. You don't even talk to them. You don't hear their voices. So again, this is a very open way to be able to talk to each and every last one of you. I'm gonna jump off now. I don't see any much movement in the comment section. I'm sure there's going to be end up on the recording side, so you definitely can go back and look at these videos. But I'm going to continue to create those, and like I say, 8:30 on Fridays. If it's a little earlier, like it was tonight, I will mention that. But I want to say thank you to everyone who have listened, and those who will have liked to listen but was unable to, and those who will be listening to this recording of this video. I will be adding on more into what, like I said, what I stand for, and what I plan to do, and and also to be able to listen, So, make sure that everybody is being represented it the correct way. So, again, thank you so much, everyone, and I hope you all have a blessed night. And again, I will be back here again on next Friday to do this. Now, you may see some other videos come up because I do have my son that I do fight for as well. I do videos for live streams for him at times, and so you may see some of those pop up. You feel free to jump into those as well. It's, like I said, that's the reason that's the tragedy that put me in the right position to run for office. So thank you so much, everyone. You have yourself a blessed night and a good weekend. Oh, and one last thing I will say to everyone that's following my son case, always hug those that you love, even if you have any strife or disagreement with them. Always tell them that you love them. That's one thing you can do. I like to say it this way. You can go to the person and say, hey, look, we cannot talk. And I need a break from you right now. Whatever the case may be, we need space. I'm mad right now, whatever the case may be, but I love you, but we definitely need the space. You don't want it to be a time in your life where, you don't have the opportunity to do that. I would give anything to say to my son that I love him. I miss saying that. The last time I was able to do it was 2 days before he went missing. And, so I want to be able to have the opportunity to do it again. But yes, we want to make sure we take advantage of every opportunity to tell our loved ones that we love them, because like I said, it's very important. something you cannot neglect, and make sure that we're staying close. But again, please come back 8:30 on Friday, so I can talk more. I hope we can engage. I hope we can bring somebody else with you, and we can definitely talk, and you can hear some more things that I would have. I probably have a little fresher mind. I'm a little tired tonight, but I definitely want to say thank you again. God bless each and every one of you. Have a good weekend. My name is David Robinson. I'm a proud son of Columbia, South Carolina. I was raised on the Southern values of faith, family, and treating others as you would like to be treated. I believe in the power of a handshake and the strength of one's word. As a single parent, I faced the challenges of making ends meet firsthand. When I heard the call to serve, I knew I had to act. I served my country where I learned that we are all in this together, regardless of race, color, or politics, whether it was in Afghanistan or Arizona. I saw the power of cooperation. Now, I'm ready to bring that same spirit to Washington. Our nation's future depends on our ability to work together and focus on the bread and butter issues that matter most to everyday Americans, not sowing seeds of division. This November, when you cast your ballots, remember, it's about more than just politics. It's about sending someone who would truly represent all South Carolinians. I am David Robinson, and I approve this message.